Welcome to yet another edition of the Film Geeks podcast. This is Abhishek, and of course, joining me as always are Anirban and Arindam. So, Choked is, of course, directed and co-produced by Anurag Kashyap, and it's written by this person called Nihit Bhave. I think it's one of his first works because I have not seen or anything by him or seen him writing any other films before this. The film stars Saiyami Kher and Roshan Mathew, with Amruta Subhash and Rashtriya Deshpande appearing in supporting roles, the Rolodex of Netflix, of course. It's set in the background of the 2016 Indian demonetization, and it tells the story of this bank cashier who starts getting money as her toilet starts clogging and unclogging
kitchen
by itself at night. So that's basically what the plot is. The trailer was kind of fascinating, though it gave a little bit away. So if you haven't watched the trailer, please don't go ahead and watch the trailer. Just go directly and watch the film. Let's start with Anirban. Anirban, your thoughts on Choked. We'll try to keep it very spoiler free. So your initial thoughts.
So this is the first one where we kind of get to see. I don't know if we have gotten to see his other label production house, which is now called Good Bad Films.
Yeah, that's the first, right? Out of
the
first.
label. Yeah, and that kind of describes the movie in general. It's not bad, but it's not good either. It's like one of those movies where you're constantly scratching your head whether you should like this movie or not, because some of the work, some of the things that are there are indeed something that you will like. But it's not like a typical Anurag Kashyap, which involves a lot of in a lot of ways, because a lot of people who expect to see the same kind of violence and ugliness of society that he likes to portray, it's not there. It's kind of like a black satire in some ways. At the same time, it tries to its hardest not to make political statements. It tries its hardest, even though it's set at a backdrop of demonetization. It doesn't try to be very critical of that. It just tells you what the situation, ground realities was for a lot of those people. It tells a story. But most of all, it's not about demonetization at all. It's about this couple and the problems they're having. All of what happens around them is very secondary to that. And in that sense, I think they got that down right very properly. Because you see...
The balance was there.
Yes, the problems that a middle-class family with a married couple has, newly married couple, let's just say newly married couple in this case, married for a few years, the kind of problems that they have and they go through in trying to manage the expenses of the household and the problems they have which deals with marital concerns. All of this is very nicely explored, I would say. The problems it has is that it doesn't know how to go, where it wants to go. There's some places where I genuinely didn't understand why they had that shot in the first place. It just didn't make sense. It's like somebody went and said, ठीक है इसको बना देते हैं, लेकिन कैसे structure करना ज़्यादा दिमाग नहीं लगाते हैं. Let's just make it, finish it, because we have a deadline and we have to deliver it to Netflix on this date. And somehow it looks very rushed because of that. I mean, the ending, it could have been a lot better. I genuinely thought that the ending, of course, it deviates a lot from Anurag Kashyap in that way. Okay, I'm not going to give you the spoiler. It deviates from a lot of Anurag Kashyap movies in that sense. But what I thought was that the ending could have been much better. Now that he has given us a lot of good endings in the recent past few movies that he has made, he has not given it. But they still have sort of been apt in those situations. You can't take away from that fact that a lot of movies that he has made, the situation is the endings that he has in those movies, they're still apt. In this, it's apt, but it's too feel good at the same time, and it somehow feels a bit like, cheap. Let's just put in.
It doesn't earn that. You mean?
It doesn't, and that's my main problem with this. It doesn't know what kind of movie it has to be. Although I have to say that Saiyami Kher does fit the role perfectly. She might not be the greatest movie. Her role in Special Ops was not even a role, not even a cameo. You could have put a placeholder there and just said Saiyami Kher, and that would have worked. But in this, she does manage to pull off all those nuances pretty well. And she does actually embody that sort of not middle-aged, I will say, but uh,
Early
sort of
30s.
30s, early 30s, mid 30s, married middle class woman pretty well. And I don't know about what was the guy's name? Matthews,
Roshan
Roshan
Mathew.
Mathew.
Roshan Matthews. I haven't seen too much of him, but he does a very good job in portraying the husband and the kind of role that he's given. Now, I'm not.
Mutul.
I kind of disagree with Roshan Mathews' role. That's primarily because if you look around, he just feels out of place every time he opens his mouth because he's speaking in this chaste North Indian
South Indian.
accent.
South Indian.
He's
He's playing a South
accent
Indian.
is South.
No, he's playing South. Kar lo, yaar, kar lo.
His accent is that of a Northerny. Okay, and there you're surrounded by, and he's not someone who is from North India as established, right? His surname is some Pillai. Okay, and every time he opens his mouth, it sounds like someone from the north, someone from Delhi. So that his accent just took out all of that performance because he's supposed to be this irritating slacker, okay, this fucking loser, and you feel that. Okay, there is a scene where he wants better food, and he has these entitled demands and all of that. However, every time he opens his mouth, he's like he speaks properly. It just completely takes you out of the scene. I don't know if I'm articulating it well enough, but I don't think he was very good in this movie. In fact, all of the performances, barring Amruta
Subhash.
What's it? I'm sorry.
Amruta Subhash.
Amruta Subhash. I think all of the performances were kind of average only. Saiyami Kher is fine, and I don't think this movie is really that good. Yeah, I honestly don't think so. It's just fine because it doesn't know what it wants to be. It doesn't want to be a satire. Does it want to be a family movie, or does it want to be not a family movie, a slice of life film, or does it want to be a comedy or a thriller? Because
or a comment on society.
It starts off. See, because the only time this movie is really interesting is when they are playing on the dynamics of the couple, and it's really good. I mean, the couple have this weird chemistry going on, and it makes sense. You can watch that. But when it tries to make this entire, this dialogue about demonetization and its impact on the people and how people are suffering, it's there, and then it's completely forgotten the next moment.
I can tell you why this might be happening because after I saw the movie, I was watching the Film Companion interview with the cast and crew. So Anurag Kashyap, remember that? Okay, I won't go into spoilers. So he wanted to make a huge scene, like a character piece during that moment where they say the demonetization has happened, and she comes back to find out that the house hasn't been cleaned. So during that scene in the script, she had that entire dialogue where she even referenced Indira Gandhi and etc. etc. So this was in the script. When they actually went and they started the pre-production on this, during the reading, everyone said that the voice wasn't matching. Like this is not something that the character would say because the characters, what she meant to do was she just wanted to come back home. She did not have time to care about the politics. And this was just Anurag Kashyap putting his thoughts, like his own thoughts. That was his voice and rather than the character's voice. I think this is where the mismatch took place. They did some rewrites then, which messed with the entire pacing of the movie because
it is marketed as a political satire.
I really liked the movie. Other than that, I thought one of the main reasons that it subverted my expectations. I went in expecting a Kashyap movie. I thought this was more of a Motwania movie. This is the reason why. The lead performances could have been better with better actors. Also, the problem is that there was such strong supporting actors. The guy who plays Pillai Reddy, he's like so sleazy, like very sleazy.
Amruta Subhash is also there in the movie.
Yeah, definitely is also there. So actors like this, they had little tiny roles, but in their space, they were eating up whatever was being handled by the lead actors. So that is one issue that there was there. There were also some plot holes, right? Like it wasn't exactly clear what she was doing with her money. Why did she need to carry it to a bank? Maybe she was
exactly. No, I don't understand that part myself because it was already. If it was 500 wala purana notes, it could have made sense. Ki, theek hai, I can understand. But because it was new, again, spoiler here. But I didn't understand that part. Why did she have to take it to the bank in the first place? I just didn't make sense.
Maybe she was whitewashing it. I got the intent behind it, but in the movie they do not make it clear why she was doing what she was doing. So I think that was the problem.
Because Anurag Kashyap, the biggest problem with Anurag Kashyap since Gangs of Wasseypur is he is editing his own shit.
They talked about it, so I saw this interview where Saiyami Kher talks about that.
The problem is Anurag Kashyap needs an editor. He is a fantastic filmmaker, but his head is so far up his own ass that he can't say anything beyond that.
Yeah. Saiyami Kher actually talk about it that
this only.
He edits faster than he shoots them, which I thought was a very problematic statement in itself. Right? Editing is half the work, man. I think editing is half the work, more than half the work.
Yeah.
I think that was the problem because there were many things that did not make sense, but I went along with it. I quite enjoyed the ride. The reason why it is called Choke, there were like layers to the story. Something was definitely there.
Coming back to the story of the Choke. Okay. What is up with his new obsession with fucking surrealistic?
He always was into this.
He was, but look, okay, he did that in fucking. I think the best one, and it's probably one of the most pretentious movies that I've ever watched. No Smoking, and it was a completely surrealistic take. Okay, and this movie, it just doesn't fit in with the tone, man. Like, kuch bhi ho raha hai wahan pe.
Which is true. Which is kind of true.
It's just there. मेरे को कलर डालने का मूवी में I want to show the contrast. I समझ में आ रहा है भाई. You want to show drab colors which shows how dreary this woman's life is, and you want to show the colorful life which she left behind. I get that, but is that necessary? That entire scene where her hand gets stuck in the dream sequence, was that necessary? If you take that out, make the movie like, say, it shortens the movie by a good 15 to 20 minutes, and you have a very nice compact.
I think it would be tighter. It isn't tight.
Yeah, it stretches on for on and on and on and on. There is an elongated chase scene in between.
Yeah. Do you remember that? Do you remember that movie? I don't know if you've seen it. There's this Tamil movie that came out.
Explain this to me. Reddy उसके पांचवे माले में रहता था ना? On the fifth floor.
Reddy
no, that is not
the
Reddy.
Government.
Yeah, the
government PA to the politician.
हाँ, तो ending में तो बोलता है कि Reddy sir, the PA, he stays on top.
Reddy sir नहीं, Raghavan sir.
Oh,
अच्छा. My bad.
Okay. Yeah. Do you remember? Does any of you remember that movie called Toilet that came out? I think a few years ago. So it's about this couple, a very low income couple with this one guy, the guy who works in a movie film editing department or something. I'm not sure what I remember. The wife is a housewife. They've been staying in a house, and the landlord says that you have to vacate this house because we want to give it to somebody else. Now they have to find a new house, and the struggles it depicts. Now that was a very surrealistic depiction, and all the movie is about this family searching for this new house where they can get a good house at a reasonable price. That, I think, is what this wanted to be in some ways. At the same time, on a much, let's say, when I say middle class, so that was on a lower middle class scale, and this is like on a slightly
maybe lower middle class hi tha, because
it's yeah, I mean, you can say that. But when you watch those movies, you'll understand what they're trying to depict is much better. The struggles are much better depicted.
Okay, what did you guys think of the score? I thought it was really good.
I thought it was brilliant.
But does it fit this movie?
In some scenes, it does.
Easy-paced movie.
In some scenes, it does.
That score is like, I think Manoj said, it's like Birdman. It has to be frenetic. That is where the editing was required. It needed to be like,
it doesn't fit in with this movie. वो score किसी और movie का है भाई. Like in the sense, like I can, if the score is available on Spotify, I'll probably listen to it. But
the scene, I thought that part. Go ahead. Sorry.
The problem here is that it doesn't fit in with the thing. There is a very languid pace going on when the woman is traveling on the train. ठीक है, वो ट्रेन में चल रही है, उससे उतरा है वो. There is no hurrying is happening, but there is this, very percussive beat happening. It needed something more, which is more engaging and more, bang, 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 bang. Am I making sense? It has to be,
yes,
the action has to complement with what's going on. There is a reason why, say, Junkie XL's score, Blood Brothers, or even the Avengers score makes sense because it complements what you see on the screen. We were talking about this the other day also. There is a reason why Santa Esmeralda's song, Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood, the cover, it fits so well with the Kill Bill scene, and also with in The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. The only reason behind that is that it matches, it syncs up with whatever you see. I don't think this is synced at all.
So whose fault do you think that is? Is that completely Kashyap's fault, or is it?
Of course, it's Kashyap's fault. Kashyap is the director of the movie.
Yeah, but Kale has to look at these scenes and say that, okay, this makes sense here.
भाई काले तो कुछ भी करेगा यार, तो काले को बोल ना, वो उसको यही आता है. उसका तो हर कोई भी उठा के देख ले, उसको यही आता है. He doesn't. He hasn't
I think
changed.
it was Anurag Kashyap's choice. I'm pretty sure he just said कि Birdman-esque score. ऐसा ही कुछ चाहिए होगा. Because Karshkil, he's one of the best percussionists that we have in this country, and if you're handing it over to him, you will expect something like that. That completely makes sense.
Yeah, you can't have Manchester by the Sea and have fucking Hans Zimmer score it. Doesn't make sense. So I thought the score is great, but is it good in context of this film? I don't think so.
I know. That makes sense. I thought the score the score they have when the bank robbery is happening, against spoilers, is brilliant. I thought that was brilliant.
Bank robbery, I liked it too. There was an obvious nod to, can you guess the movie? Which it was a nod to? Point Break.
I was about to say,
right? Yeah. So the thing is that I thought they would be using, because it's Kashyap, Modi ka mask laga hi sakta tha, and Modi is famous for his mask. It was a weird choice to use Trump.
But then Netflix is also producing, no?
That has to be there. So Netflix is like, it's easier to criticize an American president, of course, rather than the ones that we have. So it would be funny if one had, who knows, Congress ka koi Sonia Gandhi ka mask or Modi ka mask. Criticize them both. But yeah, things like that. If you are really going into it, I didn't really get why Trump was there. Because in Point Break, the dead presidents made sense. Over here, it was just like, why? It's a random reference to Point Break that you're making. Like if you actually want to get the ball.
If it was someone else not named Anurag Kashyap, people would have just given up. But itna bakchodi kiya na wo over the past decade. I don't know, dude, if I'm excited for another Anurag Kashyap movie. I'm not saying that this is not a bad movie by any stretch of imagination.
It's a middling movie.
Not great. It's just not great.
Yeah, and because we have expectations
from someone like Anurag Kashyap, who's supposed to be the best or one of the best, top 3 Indian directors right now, apart from Sriram Raghavan, Vikramaditya Motwane, fuck Imtiaz Ali, and Anurag Kashyap. These are the top 3, right? Anurag Kashyap has just been firing blanks for a very long time. So yeah, since Gangs of Wasseypur 2, I don't think he's made a really great, great movie. Let's go back to the comment section. Anvesha says Netflix's Indian content looks like an Oriental fantasy. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, neither do I. Oriental fantasy. I have to actually understand what that means.
Nihal says Anurag Kashyap, I feel, is unfairly judged because of his violent work. I really like Manmarsiya. It was nice. I'm sure. I mean, to each his own. But it's not the violence that we are praising, or at least I'm not. It's the storytelling and the choices he has made since.
We didn't speak about the violence even once. In this movie, this is not about the violence.
I don't think it's about the violence at all.
I mean, the preconceived notions, because even I went in expecting something dark because of the subject matter, which was spoiled in the trailers. So, yeah, there were some, you think that this will be one kind of movie. It isn't that. So that subversion actually let me enjoy that movie more. Because I thought that it would be dreary. It isn't. It's an enjoyable flick, but it has its problems.
So one of the things that you will see, it's been classified as a thriller, which it is not. Not by
like I said, it's not a thriller. It's not a slice of life. It's not a political satire. It's all of that and none of that, which is a problem. Anyway, he says Mukabbas has a brilliant ending. Yeah, but
I'm yet to watch this movie. Where is it available? Where can someone watch Mukabbas?
Z में है या फिर one of those
Mukabbas I think is
road
available on
shows.
Z.
If you have Z, so it should be there.
And Ashwita says she has watched To Let. It was surprisingly good. So where can we stream To Let, Anirban?
I think it's there on Hotstar, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check that for you and tell you. Is there on either Hotstar or it's
Who are the actors?
Nobody I know.
Should be good.
It is pretty great. It's not there on Hotstar. So let's just check what I always check, which is justwatch.in. Again, if you want to check what's streaming on Indian streaming devices, then you can just search.
Just Watch also has a very horrible directory for just searching movies.
Oh yeah,
very famous ones don't turn up.
Don't go to justwatch.com. Just go to justwatch.in. It's on Prime.
This is the mistake that I've been making. I go to .com and
don't
it
go
has
to
horrible indexing.
No, anyway, just go to justwatch.in.
It's available on Prime, is it? So Mukabbas is available on Prime. Anvisha replies actually, like real time, because we don't live in a free state anymore. It's easier to criticize Trump safer. See,
true.
That is true, but people have been criticizing Modi also. So yeah.
No, but in this movie, I think he could have gone there because they literally mention him by his name. Like that would be on the nose, of course. He's literally.
But they also go ahead and neutralize that by saying, "I don't care. It's not about Modi. It could have been anybody else. You're not the prime minister. If you want to go and behave like him, then
Trump
go."
on that scene does not make sense at all. Someone pointed out it might have been Churchill. I didn't see that, but if it's Churchill, it also okay. It goes with the theme. But Trump just
but
didn't
movie to it's based on see if you have to take Bal ka khal ukharna hai, so we can do that. It's not a very right extremely left-wing movie also where they are bashing on the capitalistic interests of this.
What they do with the songs, it's very well done. One of the funniest lines that I've seen in recent times in Bollywood history, like Bollywood movies at least, is when the Punjabi guy he gets the new note and he says that does this have a nano chip? So like it's subtle, okay, it's very well done. That nursery rhyme in the end credits is amazing. That Feku Feku song. It's peppered in really well. I thought the balance was right. Like I think Anir he mentioned it. So on this note, I think we should wrap up.
Yeah, we have been at it.
Thank you very much for tuning in. Whoever is there in the comment section, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys had a great time because we did, despite all the troubles with my power and my falling phone. Thank you for sticking with us, and we shall be back next week with the review of Spike Lee's latest film and whatever we watched and more recommendations. And thank you very much for tuning in.
Go for another.
Fight the power. Bye-bye.